Guys, Mr. Scanlon here. If you're watching this, it means you followed my advice and you are tuning into this video to figure out how to use Ionic plus an API to do some cool development stuff. So, what I got here, as you can see on screen, is the playionic.io website, which you guys are familiar with, but at this point, it's just a standard website. So I get the CSS, JS, HTML, all the same. On the side, I also have open the Ionic framework code, so that way I can just copy and paste some stuff in if I wanted to. I could just go here and grab this, and let's say I want that top bar to be some other color or something like that. Bam! Now it's a blue color up here. So yeah, I just have the standard setup open there. So what we're going to be building is actually kind of like an app where you have like GIFs, just kind of like some GIFs pop up, like GIFs of the day or something like that, something kind of simple. But what we're going to be using is we're going to be using an API, which if you don't know, it stands for Application Programming Interface, and what that basically means is we're going to be calling a server from this GIF website and then pulling off the GIFs that they have on the website. So we're actually not going to actually program anything in here, okay? It's going to be mostly in the JavaScript over here. So I'll show you how to do it. First things first, I got this paste bin. You guys don't have to have this. This is just code that you're going to want to copy down. So this first link is just a link to jQuery, which is a JavaScript library. If you just want to copy this kind of line by line, you can, or you could just Google jQuery and get something that looks just like this right here. The next thing you want to do is jump over to the JavaScript real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this second thing here. So we even talked about what jQuery is, but if you were on Code Academy playing around with stuff, you may have ran into it. I'm just going to paste this code in here. So what this is actually jQuery code right here. Okay, so it's like JavaScript, but it's a little bit different. It's got this $sign thing. You don't have to know what any of this means. You just have to know that what this is doing is it's using something called ajax, which is going out to this link, okay, right here, and it's calling this Jiffy website, this jiffy.com website, and it's pulling out some GIFs basically for us. So first things first, I'm going to open up the side inspect window so I can see what's going on over here. You can see there's an uncaught error already. Oops. Here goes. Uncaught error, amount is not defined. So you can see amount right here is not defined. I can fix that really easily just by saying var amount is equal to, we're just going to call one GIF right now. And then I'm also going to make this other thing called term. Just follow along here. And you can put anything you want here. I'm going to search for, I want to look for a Halo GIF. Or actually, let's go Star Wars. It's a Star Wars GIF. Everyone knows Star Wars. And then in here, at this near this plus button, just go ahead and put term. So you don't quite know what any of that means yet, but I'm going to explain that right now. Hold on. Oops. Okay, so as soon as you have all this code in here, just go ahead and take the time to copy this down. You can pause the video, whatever you need to do. But basically what this is doing is it's calling this website and getting a GIF with the search term for Star Wars, and you're getting one of them, okay? And then it's console logging it right now inside of here. So if you remember console log, the JavaScript function, I'm console logging whatever data we get back, and it's popping up here, okay? So in this data, I can look at it, and look at all this. So this is a bunch of information about whatever GIF it is that's going to pop up, okay? And so we're going to want to display this GIF on screen somehow. You can't really see what the GIF is right now just because, well, I suppose I could show you here. So if you just copy this link out, open up a new tab and paste that in, it's going to show you. You're going to go to this website. Here's a Star Wars GIF. It's a trap, typical Star Wars GIF. So basically, that's what we're going to want to display on screen here. Okay, so go back to the HTML real quick. I'm just going to get rid of this button. Now we're going to want to keep this Ionic padding, and we're just going to say div, and inside the div, just an ID of, you could call this, my content or something, but you're going to want to keep it consistent. So I'm just use my content, and then inside the JavaScript, what we're going to do is we're going to display that in a second here. So when the data is called and everything's good, we want to document.getElement by ID. So you're familiar with that. My content. We want to grab that my content. We want to say, dot inner HTML. Don't forget that. And you could say anything in here. You could say like, hey, what's up? And it's going to pop up on screen. See, there it is. So that's all we're doing, right? We're just doing a simple document.element, get element by ID grab there. And we're using this content in the JavaScript to just pop something in there. Now we're going to change this in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say var content. So I'm creating a variable called content, and I'm going to set that equal to some empty strings here. So make sure you use the right symbol. I'm not using, you can just use like the single quotes. That's up to you. I'm using these like it's like right next to the tilde sign, so right above the tab. I'm using those just because it's like, I don't know, a little bit easier to program with, I guess. But in here you can go ahead and like write stuff like hey, what's up again, something like that. And then I can replace this hey, what's up with content, right? Content, and now we're getting that hey, what's up. So we're basically going to be able to program our HTML right here in between these braces or in between these quotes, and it's going to pop up inside of here on the HTML. That's what's going on here, all right? Now, if you're confused, that's perfectly okay. It's a bit advanced, but I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with this particular project. So follow along. So what I want to do is I want to jump over here, and I'm going to go down to list. Okay, and let's see. I want to use a good list here. Something like I had a good one earlier. It's not tabs, right? No, it wasn't tabs. No, it was definitely a list of some kind. Let's use this one. So we're going to use this guy right here. We're actually just going to copy this part right here. Okay. There's actually one thing I forgot to do here. I'll copy all of it. Copy all of this, and we'll go in here to the HTML. We're just going to paste this in here so you can see what's happening. So as soon as I do that, you can see this nice card kind of pops up on the screen there, this candy bars, Butterfinger, whatever. And that's all because of this div right here. Okay. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to delete this part, just space it in a little bit. That just got rid of the underline part. And delete this part. Okay, just to kind of space it out a little bit better. And inside here, I'm going to take out this div, and you'll kind of see why later. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take that out, so it's got nothing there. And I'm going to paste this inside of hey, what's up? Okay. So you can see what's going on there. It just popped up. All this code just came into that content variable we have, which is getting set to here, which is going to my content in the HTML, and then it's just putting it in there. And just for consistency's sake, I'm just going to get rid of that right there. So basically, all that we did, I just pasted it in there to show you how it looked. But we have all of this is the same as it was earlier, and then the JavaScript, all I did was add a couple lines in here. So just copy that down basically. So basically what we want to do is we want to display like the ID or something, or maybe like where the GIF is from right here in the top bar. And then we want to display the GIF like right here itself inside this box, okay? So I'm going to replace this, let's replace this one first just so you guys can kind of see the data that's coming in here. I'm actually going to clear this. Okay, so we're going to get a call. So here's our call. And you can just kind of look at this right here. So all the calls are going to be basically the same. This is a JavaScript object, as you should probably know at this point. And we can access it by doing a couple things. So what we're going to do let's see, I'm trying to find, we'll just use this ID right here. That's what we're going to print out up there, this ID thing. You can see it. So, in order to access this data, which we're getting in right here, we're console logging it, this is what we're seeing right here, I'm going to say data dot data, okay, that's the first part of the array, and then we want the ID. So if you have this, oops, I forgot. So I just typed this in here, and it's literally popping up right here. The reason why is because it thinks it's an actual string, but what we got to do is we got to hit that. If you're using the tilde one, then use that. I am. It's going to break it for just a second. If you're not using the tilde, then just have like a an apostrophe or something like that in there. But basically, I got the tilde plus the data, the plus, and then the tilde again. And that's basically just, we're just like combining the strings there. So if you did that correctly, you have this ID on the header. So it's just kind of like a unique ID. And then down here, we can go ahead and put in the image itself, or like the GIF itself. So we're going to say image, img, src is equal to, put some quotes there, kind of end it, and then we're going to want to make sure that this GIF has a width of 100%, so it's not too big, not too small. It just takes up like a perfect area of the box here. You can actually see like a little dot popped up there. So inside this source, I'm going to go ahead and use those tildes again, a couple pluses, and then inside here I can go ahead and put the data that I need to put in. So I'm going to say data 0, so the 0 element, and then if you look at it, so that's all this stuff. So everything in here we can just access, but just by typing it. So I'm going to type in .images. So that's in this folder right here. Come on. Oh, is it really not going to do it? Here, the bottom one right here. This should have it. Yeah, there it goes. All right, so .images, and we're going to use the original. So .original, the original GIF basically. And then inside here, you notice it keeps breaking it, but it doesn't matter because we're not using it really. Oops. .original, and then I happen to know that it's original.url. So, oops, original.url. I'll show you what this looks like in a second. All right, so you're probably like, all right, he just typed in .url and then magically everything got fixed and the it's a trap GIF popped up. All right, what did Mr. Scanlon just do? So I'm just going to kind of show you the data. So we just accessed data.data. So the object data.data, and then here's the 0 object. See 0, 0, and then we go to the images, target the images, and we drop that down, and then we want to target the original in the images. So we target the original in the images. Here's some data for the original. .url, and then that happens to be the .gif file that we're looking for. You guys know that if you have a GIF, the link has to end in .gif for the source, and then it pops up there, right? So it's working. In a sense, it's all working right now, which is great. We have a nice little awesome app where it displays basically any GIF we want. If I were to type something in back up here on Star Wars, like if I typed in, football, it might be soccer, or no, wow, nice football GIF or something like that. You could type in, funny. It's probably not going to be that funny. No, that's kind of funny, I guess. So basically anything you type in the term here is going to pop up right there, and you can make it so more GIFs get displayed. You can make it so that you could just on the app, type something in like a search bar and it'll display. But for right now, this is what this is what we got. This is all the work that I have you guys doing so far. If you guys want me to show you how to do more, like what I was explaining, have the search bar or have more GIFs pop up, I can show you how to do that. But until next time, see ya.